Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Have you been avoiding taking a chance on something because of the risk of failure? Maybe it's starting a new project, a new job, a new business, a new eating habit, a new relationship, or a financial investment. Does the idea of walking into something unknown make you feel unsettled? How do you feel when things don't go as planned? Stay tuned on our new episode as I talk about learning from mistakes, the catalyst for growth. Welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up podcast with Adrian Starks. If you're looking for the ideas that could be your breakthrough for change in your business, career, or personal life, this podcast is just for you. Join Adrian as he speaks on topics of self-development and interviews a variety of entrepreneurs, business owners, and thought leaders to reveal their ideas and solutions to success and its challenges. Subscribe to the show and leave a review. It's time to champion up and be a courageous creator of change. Welcome back, my champions, my courageous creators of change, to another episode on the Purposeful Life Show with your host. I am Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. Today, we're going to talk about learning from mistakes and how that could be the catalyst for your growth. A lot of people are not creating more in their businesses or their personal lives right now because they are afraid of just taking some more risk. We can all agree that risks are scary at times because we can't see the result. And there's no guarantee that that result that we're wanting will actually go as planned, and that can be quite scary. We fear the mistakes also of the possible failure following that. And with that comes the backlashes of criticism, the loss of importance, the loss of finances, or the worsening of the current situation or even our relationships. The problem here is that there is too much caution and timidity, keeping powerful people like you around this planet from expanding themselves in their businesses and their personal lives, like your health, your mindset, and skill set. We stun our own growth by failing to try things out and sticking with them long enough to see if it will actually work. How many of you know people, and you might be one of them, I was one of them at one point in my life, you do things one or two times and you decide that you're an expert on it and it doesn't work. You have to do things more than once or twice. It requires multiple attempts before you can begin to see some kind of result or that it is actually working for you. Do you feel right now like you need a change? Are you wondering why you are bored? Why you're at the same job or the same relationship on the same path that seems to be dull and stagnant? I'm going to provide you with some words of wisdom from one of the most powerful scientists to walk this planet, and he was all about taking risk. Albert Einstein said, "Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new." You see, people who take more risk experience more adventure in their lives. And a life full of adventure is a life full of many decisions. And here's the catch. The ones that turn out to be the wrong ones give you better experiences to make better decisions. Right now is the time to start trying out some new things, even if it leads to mistakes, and some will. I learned this by taking on a business risk with someone years ago when I was heavily involved in the fitness industry. I've done so many things that I've made an abound of mistakes. Some have been very painful to learn from. What I learned from that is when we refuse to learn from our mistakes, this is what I believe leads to suffering and self-sabotage. That resistance and negativity of the outcome that we host only invites the feelings of sadness, anger, and pain. We can't create better experiences from that feeling, neither can we learn or grow from them. I realized this when I partnered years ago with a personal trainer helping him to grow his facility based upon my experiences, successes, and positive relationships with people in the health and wellness industry. I had come to know him through a mutual friend, and I thought that this was a good guy. He had a great smile. He seemed to have some good energy about him in the beginning. He seemed very inviting and very passionate about what he was doing. However, I made a very bad mistake. I agreed to help him grow his business, and I failed to have a contract signed between us. Once again, he appeared to be an upfront person, and verbally we agreed that he would pay me to receive a certain percentage once his business had hit a certain amount of clients. I was providing my time, my energy, and resources to help him flourish, and he did. The problem here was that as he flourished, he made the mistake of thinking that his success in his business was all about him, and it wasn't. I want you to avoid making this mistake as well. Remember that your business is all about serving your clients. It's never about you, it's about them. So as a few months went by, it was time to collect my payment for services that I rendered. I offered to allow him some time to build up that revenue, and I would get that percentage once it hit that particular number. I guess you know what happened. He didn't pay me. And of course, I couldn't take him to court because I didn't have a contract signed. I went off of trust and coming from a good place. So you may be thinking, how could I make such a stupid mistake like that? Everyone knows to have a contract signed, Adrian. But do they really? This is what I mean when people are often afraid of the backlash of criticism or failure. It was a hard pill to swallow. I was angry, I was upset, I felt betrayed. Then I started thinking about the laws of cause and effect. What can I cause to create better results next time? Like, how could I be my own courageous creator and create that change? It was a loss and I had to accept it. But I learned two things from that situation. The first thing I learned was get a damn contract signed. Never again will I do that. You can always help people, start them off, even if you want to give some free service. But when it comes to helping improve their revenue over time and building their businesses, there has to be a written contract stating that the services that you have rendered deserves this kind of value back. And that was what I learned a hard lesson from. The second thing that I learned was that I was actually good at helping people build successful businesses. I had leadership skills that I wanted to further explore. Also, I realized that over time, he would only hurt himself and his business with that kind of mindset. And he did. After I resigned, I pulled my resources, and weeks later, his business declined due to bad character and inconsistent service. People came to me complaining about what was going on. His business location also disappeared. The point here is that we can learn from our mistakes. Just because we had realized a mistake was made does not mean that we were stupid or gullible. Although some people can dupe us into doing some things that we may not have done on our own thought process. The key thought here is that it was only a mistake because you noticed that it was. Give yourself credit for noticing it. And here is another powerful phrase from Mr. Einstein to support his previous one. Insanity is doing the same things over and over, wishing for different results. The people who are unwilling to learn from their mistakes, they do this. They do things over and over, expecting different outcomes. So what happens if you were to decide to take some more risk? Here's what's going to happen. Doors of opportunity will come more frequently because it is like a batting average. The greatest batters of all time, Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron, had the most strikeouts. You can't get the goodies of life if you are unwilling to taste the bitterness once in a while. I'm going to say that again. You can't get the goodies of life if you are unwilling to taste the bitterness once in a while. Some situations will happen to reveal to us what we did not know. This is called learning. Learning leads to growth. Growth leads to better experiences and success. I am going to provide you with 2 action steps that will help you learn from your mistakes and let that be the catalyst for your growth. The first step is never take a failed moment or encounter personal. This will cause you to freeze in your tracks and not make a move. I've done this so many times. The people who do this will lose track of moving ahead and will get stuck mentally and emotionally into self-blame and defeat. See that moment as situational. Grow forward from it. Leave it where it is. Take the pieces of what you can use and take it into your next experience. The second step is find the lesson in the mistake because there is always something to learn. You'll find that as you look back in time, you'll think, well, what did I do there? Why didn't I know that? Because you didn't know what you know now. So you got to be more easy on yourself when it comes to not knowing things. So the 2 steps, again, to help you learn from your mistakes and to grow from them. The first is never take failed moments personal. Let them be situational and move on to the next situation. And the second step is finding that lesson that you learned from that failed moment and pick it up and carry it into your next decision. I mentioned this previously and I will say it again. People who take more risk experience more adventure. A life full of adventure is a life full of many decisions. The ones that turn out to be the wrong give you better experiences to make better decisions. Start taking some more risk. And to encourage you to do this, go to my website, championup.net, and read my blog, The Art of Fighting Without Fighting, where I talk about what made the eminent martial artist legend Bruce Lee truly remarkable. He was not exempt from making mistakes. He actually enjoyed them. Drop a comment on your thoughts and share the blog if you feel it can encourage someone to listen to their hearts more and take some risk on themselves. Remember that people who grow forward in life achieve better results and they experience more fulfilling things, are those who take more calculated risk and don't mind making valuable mistakes to learn from them. Don't hide from yourself, champion. Take more risk. Believe in yourself more. Until then, I encourage you to be that courageous creator of change in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. Subscribe to the show and connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube at Champion Up with Adrian Starks. Go to championuppodcast.com to be inspired by more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be that courageous creator of change in your life.